I am excited to be here today with Akhil Aiyar, a marketing analyst at Innova Market Insights, and Florian Constabel, Digimarc Team Manager at Wipak. Innova has announced their top consumer food trends for 2020 and recently 2021, giving us an insight into consumer behaviors and interests, particularly in the food industry. We're here to discuss how certain technologies can be used with packaging to increase transparency between producers and consumers and meet these demands, particularly when it comes to tracing these packages through their life cycle.
Hello, everyone. My name is Akhil, and I'm a market analyst at Innova Market Insights. My background is primarily in food technology, and I've been at Innova for a little over 3 years now, and currently I'm responsible for leading projects within the team.
Yeah, thank you, Akhil, and thank you, Liberty. Welcome also from my side. My name is Florian Constabel. Working since 7 years now in the field of innovation and packaging development at Wipak, especially in the so-called N.E.X.T team, our innovation-focused competence center. And at the same time, I'm the head or the manager of Digimarc at Wipak, which we will explain a little bit later, a little bit more. And since 10 years, I'm now working for the packaging business and industry, and I'm looking forward to this discussion.
Great, thank you. As I said, we're discussing how certain technologies can be used, and I understand that technology and transparency, there is a clear relation to those in your trends from this year, Akhil. Why are brands having to up their transparency game? And what role does the internet or technology play in that?
In the early 2010s, there were a lot of food scandals across the world that reduced consumer trust in the industry. So that sort of started triggering the clean label movement, and we've seen that it's moving beyond clean label and like also incorporating elements of ethics and sustainability and fair trade. The permeation of IoT technologies combined with this need for consumer transparency has really created many different avenues. So from an IoT standpoint, when we link that, I feel like it started off with smart label. So that was an initiative which a lot of companies are still involved in, with which they basically try to have more consumer education. So you have a QR code, you can scan that using your phone, and you get redirected to a website which gives you all the information that you need to know with regards to what the ingredients are, what the nutritional content is, maybe a little bit more also about brand engagement. So this is what we do. Maybe something also about CSR activities so that companies feel a bit connected. There have always been QR codes or ways to have more transparency. So for example, if you look at it, like the QR code is mainly like the medium, the technology is behind it. So with blockchain, sometimes there is still a QR code associated with which you download an app, and then you get more data driven information from a retailer standpoint and also from a consumer standpoint. Depending upon consumer acceptability and their usage, there is so much data that you can get from a retailer standpoint that can help you with regards to logistics management, with regards to consumer data, like consumer consumption data. Maybe it's linked with the geotagging data, and then you can understand, okay, they buy it here, they're consuming it here. So there is a lot of big data that goes behind it that can be used for companies to better understand how consumers are actually consuming their product, and market their product in such a way. It can also help in like logistics with regards to availability in stock. So, okay, if you're running out, if it's all linked to a blockchain system, you already know that, okay, even in the warehouse, you're running out and orders need to be made. So those are like the different advantages that these technologies present.
Thank you. You mentioned a few things about sustainability, or that fall under sustainability, like supply chain transparency, like being able to track the entire journey of your food item, for example. With technologies like blockchain, AI, QR codes, watermarks, all the things you mentioned, why are they key in the move towards a sustainable future? What do they actually enable?
In terms of packaging sustainability, it is more from the watermarks end, like the Digimarc initiative that we have. It's basically invisible barcodes helping in eventual sorting of products in the recycling facilities, because ultimately it is a combination of those two which need to be addressed in order to actually move towards a circular economy. So consumer behavior and consumer education with regards to how they need to dispose of their products, and eventually further innovation in technologies for recycling infrastructure. IoT is like so much more prevalent in the packaging industry with regards to instrumentation and processes, that it's a lot more embedded there. For us, from a consumer standpoint, there's very limited things that you know about IoT. It's just NFC, Bluetooth. But from a industry standpoint, there is so much automation, and definitely, I'm not going to talk about that because Florian definitely will know much better about that. So I will leave it to him to dwell on that.
Looking at traceability related to the sustainability, like we see it at Wipak, there are different ways of looking at this. So basically, I would say identification and additional information across the supply chain will help any stakeholders in the value chain. And this helps us to meet the complex challenges. We focused on digital watermarks because we found the perfect solution in this technology, because it may have the opportunity to tick all these boxes with a quite, let's put it that way, easier way to enter this. So we don't want it to push this into NFC chips, which from our point of view don't make sense when it comes to sliced meat packaging. The things that all the packagings we are handling have most in common is the printed area. And this is the medium we wanted to utilize. So information and communication, as Akhil already mentioned, is key these days. We need to create opportunities to communicate and even educate in transparent and most possibly honest ways via our limited medium packaging. So, and thanks to Digimarc, we are improving the offerings that we at Wipak have in the sustainability to serve consumers and the planet at the same time. So with this innovative technology, we can contribute towards a circular economy and improve the recycling efficiency and accuracy in Europe. And yeah, it brings us much closer to the goal of carbon neutrality, which we as Wipak want to reach by 2025. And this is a challenging task to get there, but step by step, we're combining the right technologies and right approaches that are there to make it to that goal.
Fantastic. So can you explain what a Digimarc barcode is and how are Wipak and Digimarc enabling full supply chain transparency?
Yeah, so since 2013, we are in a strong collaboration with the company Digimarc. Since beginning of 2018, we teamed up officially with Digimarc as a certified enhancement and solution provider. So in a real partnership together with Digimarc. And yeah, a Digimarc barcode is a seamless element of packaging's artwork itself. So you can compare the size of a Digimarc barcode. So a single Digimarc barcode is comparable to a post stamp. And this artwork, or this code, is implemented into the artwork in a replicated way. So 360 degrees all across the packaging where there is printed area, while being almost imperceptible to the human eye. So there's no visual impact on the design we are using, but at the same time, we have repeated code fragments all over the place. So that means if one part of it gets destroyed, there are still some others in place and active to avoid any malfunction. These codes are machine readable, so can contain the same data as UPC and EAN codes can do, or carry similar informations to QR and data matrix codes, and are readable with smartphones, POS scanners, red light scanners, inspection systems, and furthermore. Once this is done, this enhancement is done of the packaging, can be utilized throughout the complete value chain. What we do is we make packaging intelligent up to a certain point, and afterwards it's up to us. As Akhil also mentioned, the device or the logistic that is behind the code detection system is where it gets really interesting. Basically enabling a packaging to be detected at any cross-section of the value chain makes it interesting, because afterwards we have to figure out what to do with this. Is it just for logistic applications? Is it for store management? Is it for quality control? So is it the end consumer who interacts with it? So maybe you get different information while scanning a product being at home than compared to being in a shop. How to recycle a certain product. This is really where it gets interesting. And it ends up in the end of life scenario, which is the recycling system. And this makes it really interesting because in the end, it's a printing technology that can be printed in any printing technology, on any printing substrate, and in more or less any packaging format. And this is where we get the interesting spots to really make this the next big thing for packaging.
And so specifically when it comes to circularity, which you mentioned, and enabling proper recycling and sorting, could you just tell me more about how it's specifically helping on that front? And maybe also explain to us the HolyGrail 2.0 project, which I understand Wipak has been involved in with the European Branding Association.
Yes, that's correct. So the HolyGrail 2.0 project, because it's already the second step in this field test, I would say, Wipak is a part of this highly profile project focusing on pioneering the use of digital watermarks for a circular economy. This is about sorting accuracy and sorting quality within Europe. One of the most pressing challenges in achieving a circular economy these days for packaging is to better sort post-consumer waste by accurately identifying packaging. Because this is at this stage of technology rise not possible yet. Digital watermarks may have the potential to revolutionize the way packaging is sorted in the waste management system today. This will open new possibilities that are currently not feasible with the existing technologies. And within the HolyGrail project, we are working together with more than 85 stakeholders, brand owners and retail recyclers towards this goal.
Fantastic. So then for you, what do you think these kinds of technologies, specifically watermarks and all of the things that we've mentioned, but specifically Digimarc, what does it mean for the future for the consumer or from a consumer-centric perspective? Will it increase engagement and transparency? Will it help with sustainability? And if so, how?
Yeah, hopefully it will tick all the boxes on all fields of interaction. So increasing engagement and transparency is a key thing, I guess, because we need the acceptance from the end consumer. It also provides the opportunity to interact with the end consumer when it comes to, as mentioned, correct recycling or the right application of the product. How shall I use it? Where does it come from? We had food to fork. These are the topics that are always incorporated with this field of action, as well ensuring the transparency communication. So why is the product packed like it's packed? And the sky is really the limit. As mentioned, once a packaging is handled or coded with an enhancement of a Digimarc barcode, it's up to us what we create afterwards out of this. We are free to utilize it in any direction and in different directions at the same time. And this is what makes it so interesting. So it's not bound to just one stakeholder that interacts with it. It has many purposes. So it's a real blockchain application, and looking especially at the tendencies that are coming through the pandemic we are facing here with COVID still, it changed a lot already. Contactless shopping, so really using automated systems to interact on your own with the shop system are on the rise. And this gives us new opportunities and new challenges, how to realize a seamless shopping experience. Because in the end, consumer experience is what it's all about. If they don't buy it and accept it or accept to handle it in the way it's meant to be, it will fail. With this technology, it will be a complete different story. I'm pretty sure, and we are seeing it in that this might really be a revolution for the packaging industry. I think on the bottom line, it should be clear that this is an added value which everybody in the value chain can benefit from.
Fantastic. Great to hear about Digimarc. It's been great to hear about a few of your insights into this. And there is so much more that we could say, I think, about all of this topic. It's a massive topic and it's a very relevant one. So thank you both for your time, for coming to chat about it for a little bit.
Thank you.
Thank you. Same to you. Thanks for having us.